everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today I feel like every time I've gotten on here, it's been another update, but it seems like every week something new happens, something new to update y'all on. So I thought I would give a full update, just detailed, not just one thing or the other, but just to give you an idea of what's going on right now. So, I know I mentioned that Rio's eye was really swollen and that it was weird and it was like, okay, his eye's swollen, what the heck? And normally, he will get that exact eye swollen because of allergies. It'll just get really puffy. And as long as I squirt it with colloidal silver, it's typically fine within a couple days. Well, you know, it wasn't fine. The swelling was improving over time, but there was still a lot of weird, I couldn't tell what was going on. And so my trainer actually came out and we talked and we looked at it, and I had been thinking in the back of my mind, I was like, it almost looks like he like bumped his forehead like this and it caused everything to swell right here, because he had this kind of like a bump on his forehead. And so she was like, he literally looks like he either got kicked in the face or he ran into something. And I was like, that's what I thought. So we have been treating it with this eye medicine that she has, and the swelling has gone down tremendously, and he really can open his eye all the way up. His eyeball itself is not injured at all. It's just everything up here. And he's gotten to the place where he can open his eye completely, so the swelling around his eyelid and all that is pretty much gone. The only problem we have is he still has a bump right up here. But one thing I've noticed this past week is that it started to decrease. It was kind of like bulbous like this a little bit, and it started to like go down, if that makes sense. I hope that was a good representation. It's not all the way healed, but it is getting there, and he's only got a little bit of clear running, just a little bit from his eye, which is also a good thing. We're not getting gunky or like infectious looking stuff. So he's good on that. As far as his breathing goes, it's not any different. It's not really worse. It's not really better. But, I mean, actually, really, I don't notice it as much. And it could just be the fact that I've been checking out his eye every day. But the one thing that me and my trainer both agree on is he just doesn't act like it bothers him. And until we figure out what we're going to do next, and until I decide and have some money saved up to do some kind of expert looking into it, as long as he's not suffering, we're just going to let him live his life and not, and just not put him through a whole bunch. I mean, he's older, you know. I don't want him to go through more than he absolutely has to. And he can still do lessons with one of the younger kids because she doesn't like go crazy. He only does stuff once a week. So as far as right now, we're just keeping an eye on him. So that's pretty much what's up with Rio. So he's doing all right. And that's pretty much it. He's at a good kind of stable place. And we're just keeping an eye on him, and I feel a lot better now. As far as Dash, so you saw that the pads were helping as far as how he was walking and all that. And I just started looking at his feet and thinking, I wonder if going barefoot for a little while might be a good thing, or at least, because I was looking at his back feet and they were kind of oddly, like one of his hooves almost looked like it was crushing to the side, like one side was growing like more than the other side, which was really weird, and it was kind of like looking like it was throwing his back feet off balance. So I thought maybe at least just only have front feet, like only have front shoes. So I talked to my farrier. He came out this past Thursday, and he suggested, before I even mentioned it, going completely barefoot. He said the same kind of thing that he's having, the same kind of issue he's having where his heel is crushing, he said it is the same kind of thing I see in a lot of thoroughbreds. And he said one thing that I have with a couple of thoroughbreds that I do currently, we have gone completely barefoot, and it's made a lot of difference in how his feet do, or their feet are doing. So he suggested that, and I said, well, why not? Well, we might as well. I mean, because the thing is, and he mentioned this too, he said you can always put shoes back on him. It's not the end of the world. Now, the only thing is that when I went out to get him and brought him in and the farrier started working on him, I had just gotten there. My trainer had brought him up, so I hadn't actually seen him. His front right leg, from about his knee down to where his ankle is, that in between was swollen. Just so swollen, and it was really squishy, and I was like, good grief, what happened? And sometimes horses can be stupid. They can twist something and then it can just get swollen. There's a bunch of different things it could be. Luckily, he wasn't limping around, so that's a good thing. It means he hasn't damaged something, like broken something or anything like that. So after the farrier checked him out and took his shoes off and did his trimming, we put him in a stall and we gave him some Bute, which is pain reliever, which also brings down the swelling. And then we put some liniment ointment on it to bring the swelling down, and he stayed in the barn overnight. The next morning I came out and it wasn't as squishy, but it was still swollen. Like, it was a lot like more firm, not so like squishy. So it had gone down for sure, but it was still swollen. So I hosed it for about 15 minutes, just hosed, and then just let him walk around the barn and eat grass. By the time he came in, when I first had felt his swollen leg, like the day before, I could not feel the bone that ran down the back of his leg. And at that point, when I brought him in because we were going to put him back in the stall overnight, give him some more Bute, put some more liniment ointment on it, and just see if that would help. Especially since it was slightly down, we were going to just see and make sure. We didn't want him to do something to make it worse either. So I hosed it down, let him walk around, and when he came back in, I could actually feel the bone. It was still swollen, but I could actually feel the bone in the back of his leg, and that was just from hosing it and letting him walk around. So I put more liniment ointment on him, put him back in the stall, and then this morning, my trainer is about to go out and see him currently, and I will give y'all an update on that later. But I was very happy to see that it was going down. So a lot of stuff has been happening, and it's been crazy. So not a lot of things I can do as far as riding the boys. I can't really do a lot with costume videos because a lot of those require riding. And then with Rio and his injured eye, he would look really dumb, even though he's totally fine and there's nothing wrong. YouTube trainers, they would come on there and start going, what's wrong with his eye? Why haven't you done anything about his eye? And I just, not gonna do that. So anyways, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you at least enjoyed knowing what's going on. Prayers are always appreciated. Honestly, they're doing a lot better. I know it seems like I should be panicking about Dash with his swollen leg, and even though at first I was like, great, this is something else, I don't feel too bad about it because he wasn't walking around limping on it, so that is a good sign. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.